the government of Ghana, and it's one of the issues we have in Parliament, the program that they have presented to the fund, they have not disclosed to Parliament. They have not disclosed to the Ghanaian people. We don't know the full size of this elephant. We have absolutely no idea of all the raft of measures, the bitter pills that we have to swallow. We have no idea. Unlike in the President Mahama era fund program where he called everybody to Senchi, we had a homegrown solution which was adopted, it was shared, widely circulated, there was transparency, inclusivity, everybody was brought on board. In this case, we have been asking in Parliament. You remember even the domestic debt exchange program, which is a component of this IMF program, a conditionality. They did not spell out the details to Parliament. There was no briefing at all. To Parliament, they did not seek parliamentary approval. You recall that I had to make an application to the Right Honourable Speaker, an application which was approved, and that is what compelled the Finance Minister to come to Parliament to brief us on the details of the domestic debt exchange program. Before then, but for my application, we knew nothing about it. Now, that is just a component of this IMF program. We don't know. I have seen some abbreviations out there, and they are very good at abbreviations. PCPEC, Post-COVID Program for Economic Governance, or whatever it means. We don't have the details. That is a major deficiency. But you see, thanks to the IMF staff report, which I'm still going through, about 125 pages, Ghanaians must brace themselves. Doc, this is going to be the most painful, the most bitter IMF program.
Why?
Yesterday, the Honorable Atuforsen issued a statement,
yes,
the minority leader, asking Ghanaians to brace themselves. And after going through this report, I mean, I asked myself, who negotiated this on behalf of Ghanaians? Does the person have a heart? Does the person care for Ghanaians at all? Are you aware that per this agreement, if you come to page 13 of this agreement, it reads, to address these challenges and achieve the program's revenue mobilization objectives, the authorities are preparing a medium-term revenue strategy. This strategy will focus on tax policy and revenue administration measures necessary to reach the authorities' program revenue objectives over the 2023 to 2026 period. Remember, this is a three-year program. An IMS Fiscal Affairs Department, FAD Tax Diagnostic Mission, identified the following potential measures to sustainably generate significant revenue while addressing efficiency and equity concerns. 1. Removing VAT exemptions, which are estimated at close to 2% of GDP. 2. Reforming the CIT by phasing out tax holidays and exemptions and strengthening safeguards against profit shifting. 3. Reducing customs exemptions. 4. Increasing progressivity in personal income taxes. Personal income taxes are going to be going up.
That's what's it started already.
Yes. Yeah. Automatically adjusting fuel levies. Automatically adjusting fuel levies by exchange rate movement or inflation. They are adding inflation to it.
Oh, okay. So
it used to be exchange rate.
New formula.
Yes, new formula now. So
amendment of a formula.
Yes, they mismanage, increase inflation, and then we bear the brunt. 5. Adopting new fiscal regime for the extractive industries. FAD is also providing technical assistance in designing the MTRs, along with Ghana's development partners. We will continue to support implementation of this strategy. So we have to brace ourselves. And the analysis we have done, as you pointed out, there are going to be at least 50 tax measures because of this. That is not all. You were talking about the electricity matters. And I was horrified by what is contained in this report. From page 16. The Power Utilities Regulatory Commission recently raised electricity tariffs close to 30%, which is a prior action. They state here, prior action. It was one of the conditionalities. Bringing the cumulative increase since mid-2022 to 57%. To help reduce the cost recovery gap and limit this year's shortfall to around 2.7% of GDP, offsetting underlying upward pressures from a more depreciated exchange rate. Additional quarterly tariff adjustments. So every quarter,
that's what we're experiencing.
Electricity tariffs are going to go up.
Yeah,
Can you believe that? Every quarter.
Yes, that's what's happened from the fourth quarter of last year.
Yes.
So every quarter.
Yes, so every quarter. Yeah. So additionally, quarterly tariff adjustment will be implemented in 2023 to compensate for any exchange rate and price movements and to bring tariffs close to cost recovery level. It will not even bring us there, just close. While efforts to improve operational efficiency of energy distribution as planned in the ESRP will continue. I mean, incredible hardship, pain, which has been imposed on us. You go through this staff report, and it is revealed that the debt restructuring is not over. More is going to come. If you look at page 18, it says the government is pursuing further exchanges of domestic debt denominated in US dollars and cocoa bills issued by Cocoa Board. While these two types of debt account for only about 5% of total domestic debt, they also represent about 15 billion cedis in debt service in 2023. So there's going to be more financial haircuts when you go through this staff agreement. I mean, it's incredible. Already, don't forget that in the 2023 budget, as a prior action, they had to announce some measures. I have here the 2023 budget. If you come to the infamous page 58, where they listed a raft of measures, it includes a freeze on recruitment into the civil and public service. So the young people of our country, the youth of our country, the graduates who are expecting that they will find jobs, because already unemployment is at an all-time high according to the Ghana Statistical Service, above 16%. Because of this bitter IMF program, there is a total freeze on recruitment into the civil and public service. And there are other very stringent impositions on the Ghanaian people. Are you aware, Doc, that even the claim that all the social interventions are intact is not true?
Why?
If you go through, first of all, the 2023 budget, page 57, it says that relevant recommendations from the ongoing review of government flagship programs under the Public Expenditure Review, PER, exercise undertaken by the World Bank will be implemented once the review is completed. So they are reviewing all the flagship programs, all our social interventions. To ensure continuous and effective review of government flagship programs, beginning with the 2023 budget, all covered entities implementing government flagship programs will be required to prepare and submit a fiscal or financial performance report on these programs to the Ministry of Finance at most 6 weeks after the end of each quarter. Quarterly releases for all flagship programs will be contingent on the submission of previous quarterly performance reports. The Ministry of Finance will issue guidelines for the preparation of a performance report by end of January after the review of all the flagship programs.
Maybe the review will be to enhance it, to enhance them. Yes.
Well, yeah. I mean, these were people who were not too long ago, when President Mahama called for a review, said that it means cancellation.
They were speaking Greek.
Yeah, but here we are in their own budget document.
They were speaking Greek. How can review be cancelled?
Based on the IMF conditionalities.
Don't let them mislead you to commit the same.
Meanwhile, Doc, my worry is that when you read page 57 and 58 of this budget document, you know, after they announced the bitter pills, the employment freeze and all of that, to show some good faith and to carry us along, they announced that they will also be doing certain things. So this is where they announced 50% fuel reduction. We have done the analysis. They are not complying. They also stated here, only essential official foreign travels across government, including SOE, shall be allowed. They add, no official foreign travel shall be allowed for board members. I have been tracking, I have the list. In a few days, I'll publish the list. Board members are traveling like never before. I've been tracking their movements.
Including the STC board.
Look, this business of only essential foreign travels. Only last week, you read the flyer from London, what they are going to do at Landmark.
Yes.
Is that essential? And look at the tall list of people going. Then it also adds here, quote, as far as possible, meetings and workshops should be held within the official environment of government facilities. They are not complying. I was shocked when Ministry of Health, they called a meeting to discuss the formula, the health insurance formula. You know where they held the meeting? Alisa Hotel. Even the Ministry of Finance itself is not complying. I have a tall list of hotels, other structures, private sector places where they are holding meetings, when they could have been holding those meetings in their ministry's conference.
Maybe they don't have the space.
Oh, please. So, the indiscipline. And then you see, Doc, we've been talking about corruption. It's been one of the matters that frustrate me under this regime. And before I get there, Doc, I'm sure you'll be happy about item number 37. There are going to be major reforms at the Bank of Ghana.
Oh, yes.
Zero financing, your pet subject.
There's a policeman there.
Yes. And they have confirmed that they have engaged in all of those monetary slippages.
Yes.
Financing the government through the Ministry of Finance illegally. And they are saying that there's going to be a new Bank of Ghana Act. They are going to seek amendments. Item number 37. But I move to corruption here. Page 22 of the staff report says that, however, these indicators also suggest that performance in government effectiveness, regulatory quality, and control of corruption have deteriorated over the last 10 years. Corruption, control of corruption. And this is a president who promised all of us that he will protect the public purse, he will use the Anas principle. When he said that, little did Anas know that he would rather be hounded and he will come under considerable attack. And here it's free for all. And he's become known as a clearing agent. As soon as corruption allegations emerge, he is the first to arrive and to clear everybody. Look at the statement they issued on the Professor from Pombuate matter. The statement the presidency issued. I mean, virtually ravishing. I mean, it's such grave. The man who you made chairman. So are you suggesting that that whole interministerial committee against illegal mining was just causing financial loss? The chairman, what he saw, he submits a report to you. 2 years, you take no action. It comes to the public domain, you issue a statement and say that, look, they are just, his own personal effusions. I mean, unbelievable, incredible. Now, let me also state as I conclude that all that jamboree out there, all that euphoria that I see on social media, they've created hashtags and their communicators are all over the place because $600 million is arriving today. I hold in my hands here the Auditor General's report on COVID-19 funds, March 22, June 2022. March 2020 to June 2022. And the Auditor General provided Table 1. I heard the Finance Minister say yesterday at the joint press conference with the Governor that they have a budget deficit, so the $600 million will be used for budget support. A lot of the people jubilating out there, it doesn't appear to me that they have averted their mind that not too long ago, we received far bigger budgetary support. Only 2 years ago, the Auditor General, Table 1, amount mobilized, audit of COVID-19 transactions for the period March 2022 to June 2022. The IMF gave us $1 billion, not 600 million, with the eligibility, $1 billion, with the finance minister used for budget support. At the time, it amounted to 5.56 billion Ghana cedis. Africa Development Bank also gave us 398.7 million. EU also added 569.6 million. Then they also mobilized the BOG COVID-19 bonds, 10 billion. So you put all of this together, it's in the region of 20 billion. Far in excess of the $600 million, which they say is what, some panacea for budget support. Where did that take us? Pensioner bondholders are still on the streets.
For last year, first quarter of this year alone, the Bank of Ghana has printed in excess of 70 billion.
Yes. So what is this 600?
Which will also be subject of a haircut soon.
Exactly. So what is this $600 million going to do? So I will conclude by saying that, as the IMF has pointed out, if government does not address its expenditure patterns and the corruption, there are a lot of things that government is engaged in that must stop. And I'll re-echo the National Cathedral project. They should close down the secretariat. They should place an immediate embargo on all the funds they are receiving from the US and everywhere else, because it's not even going into the project. And they should abrogate the contract. I keep repeating that is a terribly awful contract. Any day, every single day, as we sit and we don't take action, we are accruing liability. There's so much we will be paying Ribade, that joint venture, the contractors. So they have to abrogate that contract. We have spent $58 million to create the world's most expensive pit. And Doc, as I conclude, can you imagine that? After spending $58 million of taxpayer funds to create that most expensive pit, I have here the latest annual public debt report. We go and chase countries and beg them for less. We went to beg Turkey for $15 million for agriculture financing resilient development project. There's another one here, Deutsche Bank, construction, investment, environment, sustainable development, $13.6 million. Supply of 45 STC intercity buses to the Ministry of Transport, $13.5 million. Then there's another supply of 45 intercity buses, $8 million. Delivery of 100 ambulance vehicles, $18.3 million. Construction of Bolga Boku Road, $34.9 million from Investec. So, if you see what we are doing with our taxes, $58 million to create a crater, a hole, a pit, and then we go disturbing other countries for far less. So what is wrong with us? What's wrong with us? My final comment. Doc, 3 weeks ago, I revealed the matter. All the ministries responsible are pretending that they haven't seen it. I revealed that Professor Frimpong Boateng, and I suspect it's one of the reasons he was not retained. He was fighting an $88.2 million judgment debt. I don't know if you saw that, my write-up.
Yes.
With attached documents. And once again, Professor Frimpong Boateng, the documents I have intercepted, he wrote to the president on the 21st of July 2020 asking for direction. Because of time, I'll read the last two paragraphs. He said, I must also report that this project was not in the handing over notes given to me when I became the president representative at MESTI in February 2017. I am not in the position to approve this transaction. I need your guidance, Mr. President. Unquote. No guidance came since July 2020. What I have picked up is that those who have come after him are engaged in all kinds of shenanigans. I am glad that I blew the whistle and at least final payment has not been done. But we are still tracking. I see the Attorney General, there are letters here, the Attorney General's department writing to the Minister for Finance insisting that payment has to be made. You see, things like this, $88.2 million for no work done. I mean, the Attorney General's own documents I have here, when they went for arbitration, there was no PPA approval. Some dubious project, they say, what, emissions control.
Okay, I see finished.
So, if we don't check these things, we'll keep going to the IMF and we'll keep imposing pain, hardship, and such bitter pills on the Ghanaian people.
All right.